The sunrum peppers. I have a Apache F3 pepper getting ripe. These are very hot. This one is starting to turn as well. Several peppers on that Alma paprika. I have one almost ripened there. Orange one. Yellow one. And there are several other green ones. Okay, so there might be stuff in the background, but I'm not going to worry about that. What I'm going to record here now is when I transplanted these, when this soil dries out, and it's really dense now. This is the basil that we transplanted, I don't know how many weeks ago right now. This is the soil that they are planted in, right sitting right there. It was kind of dry and just thrown in there, so it feels like it's good. But what we found out is you water it and then it settles down and it just compacts right down. This is the stuff from we got up in the forest in that video, and I found a source. What I'm going to do for this one is put in this container. Will do better. You can see the top of that one, so you should be able to see the top of this one. So we put in 2 of these full of the forest floor stuff. And we'll put in one of the compost from there, from just up. Whoa dear. That's what happens when buckets get old. What I have here, and I need to make a video of it at some point, ground down. It's a coarse ground. I don't have it right to powder, but it's fairly fine. It's dried seaweed. If you were to take what I have here and get the powdered version, now I can put this in the blender and turn it to powder. It will cost you on Amazon about $70 to $80 for just these 1.5 gallons. I'm going to put in 2 handfuls. I've got old buckets and they're just falling apart, getting all brittle. See, I can make it form a ball, but it will fall apart. If I take this, form a ball, it's not going to crumble as easy. See, that just falls apart. That stays together. Okay, so let's do this. I don't know how big a pot I should put basil in. And I think I'm going to try both, so then I know, because I've got several plants, right? You see, it's not root bound. There's roots in there, but there's not enough to hold it together like that. And that soil is soaking, sopping wet now. There's a worm in there as well. That's the worm. I'm not so sure if I should have that much in there actually. Let's just mix that bit down up there. Now, I'll give this a good top watering to make sure it's all settled down. Like so. F-R-E-S, forced floor and compost. We know what just compost is like, so we'll do one with that forced floor and compost mix, and then we'll do one with just the forced floor material. And a handful of that kelp. Put 2 handfuls in there. Give it a good top watering so it's all settled in. Forced floor only. And we shall see how they grow. While I'm here, a lot of the mess that's here. This is the lavender. This is green lemon thyme. That's the savory over there. That's the chamomile that I mentioned that I picked. And there's the lavender. But another interesting thing, this is how I hung up the mullein leaves. Just break the main rib, and the part you see there is the upper part of the leaf. So you got to break it and put the downside of the leaf, fold it in, because otherwise the rolling, it'll keep it from rolling as much that way. Anyway, they're just hanging up there on a line like that to dry. I've got 2 lines plus a couple. Seems like the forced floor only stuff dried out faster than the forced floor and compost. Roses are beautiful, but people make rose petal tea, and I want to try it. And so I'm going to do it with these. I need at least 2 cups of packed rose petals. 2 cups, of course. 500 milliliters is one of these jars full. This is a pint jar, quart jar, whichever you want to call it. I didn't quite get 2 cups. I took the rose petals from whatever roses were on all 3 bushes. So that's why you see there's some white rose petals there as well. And I have this kettle here. Instead of what they say is you pour boiling water over the rose bushes, over the rose petals. But instead, I'm going to put the rose petals in the kettle just like that. Fill the kettle to the max. Turn it on. Let it boil, and I'll be back later on to see what it's like. Now, let's see what this tastes like. That's rose petal tea. Ignore the mess. One day my house is going to be clean again. So this is just rose petal tea with no sugar. See what it's like that. It's a little fruity taste. So I'm thinking if you add some sugar, reminds me of something, but I can't think of what. So I'm just going to say it has a fruity taste, a floral scent. Of course, it smells like roses. And you add a bit of sugar and to make it however sweet you want it. The strength, like I say, it depends on how long you let it steep and how much rose petals you have compared to the amount of water, your ratio of rose petals to water, right? And how long you let it steep. But I think I'm impressed. When you collect your rose petals, it takes a lot of rose petals to do this. But you can do this with dried rose petals. So, when your roses are flowering, when they start to fade, not when they're all shriveled up, but pay attention and you'll get to notice when they're gone past their prime and the color's starting to fade out of them. Just pick them and they'll just fall right off when you go to pick them. And dry those petals. That way you have your roses and just before they go bad for collecting for tea, you pick them, dry them, save them up over time, and if you got whenever you've got enough, you can make yourself a pot of rose petal tea.